G'day, welcome back to the channel, and now I'm going to respond to some of the questions that were posed as in the comments to my Ask Me Anything video of a few days ago. And I'm going to start with non-hobby related questions, and there'll be several videos coming along. This one's going to deal with some of the most popular non-hobby related questions, and I'll get right into it to save you any delay. First question is, what's your favourite movie? What's your favourite movie? Well, I have more than one favourite movie, like most people. I've got a number of favourite movies. There's a common theme. I like science fiction. I like science fiction movies that have more sci than fi. I'm not into the fantasy stuff, you know. Actually, one of the worst movies I've seen was Dune. That was terrible. I've seen several versions of Dune and I just didn't like it. It wasn't very good. But some of the ones I do like are, and I've got some deep, excuse me while I move out of shot here, very rude of me to do so, but let me just talk about how I watch my movies. Now, I've got a lot of these Blu-ray discs and DVD discs, and these days you can pick up DVDs for a song because nobody watches DVDs anymore. In fact, it's getting hard to find a DVD player. The last one that broke down, it took me ages to find that one that was half good. And so I buy discs. Get them at the second-hand shops, at car boot sales. You can get some really good movies for 50 cents, $1. It's much cheaper than streaming them through Apple TV or something, because they charge you a fortune. So just go and buy discs, and go and buy up a few DVD players, because they're pretty cheap if you can find them. And you're set. I don't have to worry whether my internet connection is down or if I've got my subscription up to date with any streaming services. I've got a library of DVDs and Blu-rays. Fantastic. So first of all, what movies do I like? Well, Fifth Element. It's one of my favourites, all-time favourites. Luc Besson, and it's got Bruce Willis and that woman whose name I can't pronounce. Brilliant movie, fantastic. I've watched it so many times. It's funny, it's got action, it's got humour, it's got drama. It's a great movie. So yeah, I watch that one regularly. Now, another movie that falls into the same category, which has got action, humour, and sci-fi. Demolition Man, Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, and for the wife, Sandra Bullock. And I've got to say, it's a really cool movie. It's fantastic. I watch that regularly. Still haven't worked out what the shells are for. Then, because he's my spotter, I'm kind of obliged to watch his movies, but I really like them anyway. Terminator. I've got all the Terminator movies on disc. Some people say some of them are not very good. I like them all. I'm not a critic, but I do like them all. They will have something else to offer, something different to offer. So yeah, this is Terminator 2, but I've got 1, 2, 3, all the other stuff, and the latest one all on disc, so I can watch them when I want. And speaking of this, what really annoys me, I was going to say pisses me off, but I would never say that on YouTube. What really annoys me is that you buy a disc like this, right? You spend your good hard-earned money and you buy a disc to support the people that make the content. You don't go and download it off the interwebs, as you can. You buy it, and then every time you put the disc in the player, it tells you you're a thief. You know, would you steal a handbag? Would you steal a car? No, but I'd download a car. It accuses you almost of, you know, $250,000 fine if you copy this disc. Excuse me, I just paid money for it. Why are you telling me off? I'm not having it. So I rip all my discs onto a hard drive, which is connected to a Raspberry Pi and runs Kodi Media Center. So I can just watch all my movies with the click of a mouse. Fantastic. Saves me having to do all the shuffling of discs. And of course, these discs don't last forever. Bit rot sets in eventually. I've got some DVDs I bought probably maybe 15 years ago. And some of them are getting a bit dodgy. So I'm ripping them all onto hard drive so that I will have copies. Because I've paid for the right to watch this movie. I'm not going to have to go and buy it again or pay it every time I stream it. No way, Jose. I'm keeping the discs and I'm putting them on hard drive. And these get stored in a nice temperature-controlled environment. And hopefully the rot will take longer. Sticking with sci-fi, Stargate. Got all the Stargate movies, but the first one with Kurt Russell is the best. That's the best of the Stargate movies. And as you'll see when I get onto TV series, I'm quite into the Stargate franchise. Now, what else have I got? Did I bring out more discs? I can't remember. Oh yes, moving away from sci-fi just for a moment. Die Hard, Bruce Willis. We have the same hairstylist, so I've just got to watch his movies. Apparently he's a bit of an arse in real life, but his movies are really good. The Die Hard movies, really good. Even the latest one, which initially I didn't really warm to, but I'm enjoying it now. I've got the quadrilogy here, and I've got I think it's the 5th one as a separate movie. They're all good. They're all good. Die Hard 2, it's my Christmas movie. Apart from the, is it A Christmas Tale? The one with the Red Ryder BB gun, which I always watch at Christmas too. It is one of my top Christmas movies, so worthwhile getting the set of those. I also have Armageddon, because that's another Bruce Willis movie, sci-fi, and it's got Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler, and it's actually, that's a fantastic movie from the point of view of the number of different characters and the way the characters are developed. It is a real laugh, but it's also really, it brings you in. It's even got what's his name, Peter Stormare as the guy on the Russian space station. There's lots of really high-profile actors in there, and they do a really good job. The science is a bit meh, you know, from time to time, but the secret when you're watching a sci-fi movie or any movie is don't look at it and compare it to Shakespeare or Dickens. Just sit back and enjoy it. Don't pick it apart. Don't say, oh, that's not right, this doesn't work, that's not science. Just sit back and enjoy it. Just dismiss your critical element and just watch it and enjoy it. That's what I do. And so all these movies are good. What else have I got on here? Oh, if you're a sci-fi movie aficionado, then there's one movie you must have in your library, and that's 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. It was groundbreaking. When it first aired, when it first was released back in the 60s, it was groundbreaking. The graphics, the special effects, absolutely mind-blowing. And to this day, the special effects in 2001: A Space Odyssey hold up against the best that CGI has to bring. It is just brilliant. And I watched that movie and I think, wow, you would think this movie was released today in some of the special effects, the graphic areas. And it was done with models and bits of string and old milk cartons and things. It was like really low tech. It is, it's not video effects as we know them today, but the results are still good. And the use of music, the use of like Strauss's Blue Danube Waltz, it's just unbelievably good. If you haven't seen it, which I'm pretty sure everyone will have seen it, but if you haven't seen it for a while, go back and watch it again, because it's really worth a look. It's a fantastic movie, and one of my top ones of all times. Sticking with the pseudo sci-fi, Tremors. Tremors, if you haven't seen the movie Tremors, you've got to go and see it. Kevin Bacon and I don't know, someone else. It's a really good movie. It is a fantastic premise, and of course it's got Burt Gummer, who is, I forget the name of the actor. I'm useless at remembering actor's name, but yeah, again, the character development is fantastic. The plot is pretty interesting, and just the way they put it together is brilliant. Now there are 5 Tremors movies now, and they've just got progressively worse. The original Tremors was the best. I think Tremors 2 was, Tremors 3 was, Tremors 4 was quite good. It was a different pitch on it. Went right back to the beginning. Tremors 5, oh my God, what a budget disaster that was. Filmed largely in South Africa, I think, but it's the one I watched the least. It's not my favourite. And then we've got, have I got the disc here? Yes, movies Serenity. Serenity, fantastic movie. I love the movie Serenity. And of course there was the TV series which came after that, which we'll get onto when I'm dealing with TV series. And if you're looking for quirky movies, I've got a few you should consider. You may not have seen some of these movies, but these are really worth a watch. This one, Harold and Maude. Harold and Maude, fantastic movie. I use the word fantastic a lot, but it really does apply to this movie. It is funny, it is heartwarming, it is quirky, and it's something that if you haven't seen it, you will laugh your head off. I mean, the first time I saw this, I was rolling in the aisles with laughter. Couldn't control myself. Brilliant. Not many movies do that, but this really had me laughing. Maybe it just appealed to my quirky sense of humor, but absolutely brilliant. Bud Cort, Ruth Gordon, brilliant movie. And I think I bought mine on disc. I don't know if you can find it on any streaming services, but it's a staple. I roll it out regularly when I'm feeling like being uplifted. It's got music by Cat Stevens, which is quite good too if you come from the same era as me. Another one, it's another Kubrick movie, A Clockwork Orange. This is a real classic. It's an interesting look at what a dystopian future they thought we were going to have in the future, and some of it is actually quite good. It's actually, you can see some of the stuff in here exists today, but it was quite interesting because it was the first movie I saw with my big boy pants on. It was an R21. You had to be a real grown up with big boy pants to get into the movie theatre and watch this when it came out in the 60s, and I managed to sneak in because I was just a child at the time, of course, being young like I am. And these days, of course, the violence and the whatever and the nudity and it's nothing. You can put it on primetime TV, no one would care these days. But at the time it was released, it was really kind of shocking stuff. But it is a fantastic movie. I said fantastic again. And one I forgot from the sci-fi thing, Independence Day. Yes, this again is a brilliant sci-fi movie. There's a sequel which is not quite as good, but it's still in its own right. It's still a good movie. I watch this regularly. It's always good. It's a brilliant way to waste 90 minutes of your life. And one movie that you should watch is Reach for the Sky, the Douglas Bader story. Now, the beauty of that is it's actually on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description down there. You can go and click on that link and you can watch the whole damn movie for free, unless YouTube decide to throw ads on it, in which case you'll have to take a break now and then. But it is a fantastic story about Douglas Bader, the World War I, World War II fighter ace, and the challenges he faced in his life. And it contains that wonderful quote that I like to use, that rules are for the guidance of wise men and the obedience of fools. It wasn't Douglas Bader who said that, but it was his superior officer, Harry Day. And it's worth it just to watch that quote in context. Just go and watch it, and bookmark it, and watch it again. It's black and white, it's 4:3, not 16:9, it doesn't have Dolby Atmos, but it tells a great story. And I've got quite a few black and white movies actually, and I like them because they do tend to tell a really good story. They don't rely on visual effects, they don't rely on fantastic super Dolby audio, they don't rely on massive stars to make them work. They rely on good old storytelling. And sometimes that's something that's a bit missing in a lot of modern movies. There's too much sizzle, not enough steak in some of the modern movies. But that's worth your consideration. And of course, going along with the question, what's your favourite movies, was what's your favourite TV shows? And I've got to say, I haven't watched broadcast TV for over 15 years. I was watching the news one night and there was a storm and the aerial blew down on the television. The picture disappeared and I never bothered putting the aerial back up. Because after a week of not getting around to it, I realised that this is fantastic. If you don't watch TV in the evening, you get 2, 3, 4 extra hours of life that previously were wasted watching television. And I've never looked back after doing that. If you still watch broadcast TV or cable TV, forget it. Ditch it. Get rid of it. Get your life back. Nobody ever was heard to say on their deathbed as they were about to meet their maker, I wish I'd watched more television. No one says that, because television is the opiate of the masses. It is an evil thing that gets inside your brain and wastes your life away. You get addicted to it and why waste all that time? Hours and hours a day, not worth it. Get out there. Don't live life vicariously through your favourite soap opera or drama program. Get out and do it yourself. Carpe diem. Carpe diem. Anyway, when I did watch television, before the aerial blew down, these were the shows I watched. And again, a lot of focus on science fiction. I used to watch Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. And in fact, I like those series so much. Again, I bought the boxed set of discs because I didn't want to have to rely on them being scheduled or streaming services. I just bought the discs. And I can watch them anytime I like, and that's fantastic. Also, Star Trek. And again, I bought into the franchise. I've got Star Trek, the original series, remastered digitally, and that is a fantastic effect. The way they've taken that old 60s TV footage and turned it into brilliant, crispy, clear, sharp, high-resolution footage through the wonders of modern computer science is unbelievable. The big downside for that remastering to me is that they took all the external shots of the Enterprise, they replaced them with CGI, and it is crap CGI. It's worse than a 1980s computer game. It's terrible CGI. I wish they'd left the original footage in, but the footage with the actors is absolutely astounding. And of course, that was the genesis of Star Trek as we have seen it evolve through the generations, which means also I've got the box set of Star Trek Next Generation with Picard, I've got Star Trek Voyager with Janeway, I've got Star Trek Enterprise, I've got all those in box sets for all the reasons I've given you previously, so my bookcase is full of box sets and I'm transferring them all onto hard drive so I can watch them without shuffling discs, as I mentioned before. Another series, again sci-fi, that's really good, and remember I said I like Serenity, the movie? Well, there was the series, which I have the box set of, Firefly, which is like a serialized TV series of the movie. Brilliant. It's the concept. The concept is amazing. How you can integrate the Wild West with future space travel was mind-blowing with this series. And again, it's good character development, and it's the warm characters you can warm to, and and the storylines are pretty good. Science a little bit dodgy from time to time, but it's really quite good. Jules Staith, or whatever her name is, she's in Firefly and in Star Trek Atlantis. So there's some crossover actors, not many of them, they're any good. So they appear in a lot of the same type of series. Now, moving away from science fiction for a moment, Top Gear. Top Gear. Who wouldn't like Top Gear? I've always loved Top Gear. And Jeremy Clarkson and the hamster and May, they're a fantastic team. So I like the old Top Gear with them, and also I quite like the new Top Gear with when it had Matt LeBlanc in it. He added something different. And even the latest series, which a lot of people have criticised, it's all good. I like it all. I like people making jokes with cars and fun stuff, which of course means I love the Grand Tour. Amazon were pretty smart. When Top Gear was shut down, they were very smart to take those three and create a new series for them in the form of the Grand Tour, because I had to subscribe to Amazon Prime to watch the Grand Tour, and I've never unsubscribed. I was going to just subscribe for the duration and unsubscribe, and I just haven't bothered. You know, it's only what, $7 a week or something, a month. Or sorry, $7 a month. So I've just let it run, which means Amazon, brilliant marketing on their part. And of course, the Grand Tour, when it was a series, it was brilliant. I just wish there were more. We had the Lockdown was the last one. I wish they were more regular and there was more content from these guys, but it is what it is, and I love every moment of it. Now, going back again, of course, one of my favourite TV series, there's been several series of it, is Of Weirdest Own Pet. A fantastic British series about some cowboy builders and brickies. And if you haven't seen it, see if you can find it somewhere and watch it. It is funny. It's very British, so Americans might not get it all, but it is really, really good, funny, and it's sad in places. Excellent. I've got most of the series on disc. I haven't been able to get the last one where they were in Africa, I think it was, but I've been trying to get that. If I can find it, I'll get that. What else have we got? Scrap Heap Challenge, of course. I was in Scrap Heap Challenge. The episode I was in was voted viewer favourite, best episode ever. Woo! So you can find that on YouTube somewhere. I think there's a link to it. So I don't know. You have a hunt, you'll find it. I was it was drag races, I think it was called, or jet races, something like that. Anyway, you'll find me in that one. And another one, a Quirky series that was here in New Zealand, which would be absolutely impossible to make today. Absolutely impossible. And I think I've seen some episodes on YouTube. If I can find them, I'll link them below. If you are easily offended, do not watch this. It is so politically incorrect. It is so anti-woke, unwoke, that you will, anyone that watches this who's woke will have an instant brain hemorrhage and collapse on the spot. It is that bad. But it's brilliant. It's like, they don't give a damn. They just made the jokes, made it funny, and it is absolutely brilliant. And of course, it's very Kiwi, it's very New Zealand, so people overseas might not get all the jokes, but the overall feel of it, you'll get it. And if you're anything like me with the same sense of humour, you roll in the aisles with laughter because it is incredibly funny. So that's about it for my entertainment choices, as you can see. But I do have a fairly eclectic range of stuff, a lot of sci-fi, but some other stuff as well. I like comedy. Someone also asked about music. I may do a separate video on that, but I like all music. I like all music except some of the extreme forms of jazz. You know, the kind of jazz things that have no rhythm, no beat, no tempo, no reason to exist. I'm not really into that much. My music has to have some basics. And I'm afraid I'm not into listening to ballads about divorces and dead dogs dying and all that sort of stuff. Country and Western, I know I've lost a lot of subscribers by saying that, but country and Western, it's not my favourite genre. No. Garth Brooks, sorry, no. Yeah, and what else? Some of the hippity-hoppity rip-rap stuff, I like a lot of it, but some of it's really not my thing. Who's that guy, Buster Cap? Buster Cap upside my head. Why would he be standing so close to me? I don't know. But I'm not familiar with all the artists and the hippity-hoppity rip-rap scene, so maybe I got that wrong. I don't know. But that's it. That's probably enough for a video. Give you a bit of an insight into me, the person, and what I like to do if I ever get spare time. And one of the beauties I've found is that my brain is full. There's no room for new stuff. So I watch a movie and I can't remember it. Next time I watch it, it's like watching it all over again. So it's brilliant. I don't need that many movies because by the time I got to the end, I forgot the beginning. Brilliant. So that's it. Thank you very much for asking that question, those people that asked those questions, and I hope you're happy with the answers. And I will now get on. Got lots of work to do here. It's still locked down, can't go flying, but I am deeply, deeply into the ADS-B alarm at the moment, ripping new code out of my backside as quickly as I can, and as soon as we've got airplanes in the sky, I'll start testing it and get it to you. And there's other videos in production. Somebody asked, what's happened to RC model reviews? Haven't seen any videos there recently. Well, you will. The difference is that the videos there are going to have very high production value, so they do take a long time to make. And every man and his dog's reviewing stuff. It's difficult for me to review stuff because by the time it gets here with the COVID situation in New Zealand, it's already been out of production for a week. So there's no point in me reviewing stuff that is no longer made. But there will be reviews coming up in future when the supply line problems ease up and we get back to normality, if that ever happens. So there you go. Thank you for watching. There will be more videos in this response to the AMA questions coming up. over the next week or two as I get round to doing them. So thank you for watching. Bye for now.